Good evening. Welcome to Bridging the Gap. My name is Leroy Brown, and I will be your host tonight. We have some very distinguished people here tonight, a number of young people that will tell us exactly why they're here and what organization that they will be representing tonight. So I will ask each one of them their names and tell us what school they go to and why are they here. But first I want to start with the adults. Ms. Pat, and then we'll let them introduce themselves as well and tell us exactly why are they here. Ms. Pat?
Hi, my name is Pat Fiaccato. I am the current president of the Kiwanis Club of Bolingbrook and Romeoville. And just to tell you a little bit about Kiwanis, do you want me to do that?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Kiwanis Club of Bolingbrook and Romeoville has been in existence for approximately 13 years, but Kiwanis is part of a much bigger organization. It's Kiwanis International, which is over 100 years old. And this organization, its sole mission, its sole purpose is to change the world one child at a time. And that's what we do here in the Bolingbrook and Romeoville area.
Oh, okay. Tell us who you are and what role you play in this.
My name is Holly Butenhoff, and I'm on the board of directors for the Kiwanis Club of Bolingbrook and Romeoville. And one of my positions is I'm the student leadership coordinator. And so I work as kind of a liaison with the 5 middle schools. So we have 3 schools in Bolingbrook, Brooks, Jane Addams, and Humphrey Middle Schools. And then we have 2 schools in Romeoville, Lukanzik and AVM. And we've got Builders Club at each one of those schools. And then we also have 2 clubs at the high schools, one at Bolingbrook High School and Key Club at Romeoville High School. So I work with the faculty advisors and the students, just kind of as a liaison between the clubs and our student leaders.
Approximately how many students are there in the Kiwanis Club?
Between the 7 groups, we've got probably close to 300 students that are involved.
How do you choose these students to be part of the Kiwanis Club?
We don't choose them, they choose us. And so we usually have tables up at their open houses where they can sign up to join. It's a service organization, and so if they're involved, if they like to help out and help others, it's a great way for them to get involved. And so usually they'll have an info meeting after school, which they make on the announcements so students know about it. But they choose us, they choose to be a part of the club.
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. Okay, now we're going to go to the students. You know, I'm going to let you tell the viewing audience your name and which grade you're in and what school you go to. So I know you've told me, but the viewing audience don't know who you are. Okay.
All right. My name is Maya Waisaki. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm from AVM.
Okay.
Name's Cody Butenhoff. I'm the president of the Builders Club at A. Vito Martinez, and I'm also in 8th grade.
Okay. Sorry
I'm
about that.
Gabriel Koppel, and I'm the secretary of Builders Club at Jane Addams Middle School, and I'm in 6th grade.
Oh, you're the secretary. You got a lot to do, don't you? Right?
Yeah, I take notes in the meetings and.
Really?
Yeah.
We might hire you. Pretty good. Okay.
I'm Elaine Koppel. I'm from Jane Addams in 8th grade. I'm the president at the Builders Club there.
And you're the president. We definitely want to hire you. Wow.
I'm Pedro Verdin. I'm the president at Romeoville High School Key Club, and I'm currently a senior.
You're the old guy at the bunch. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, not a problem.
I'm Lizzie Cezanne from Brooks Middle School, and I'm in 8th grade.
Okay.
I'm Jacinia Escamilla. I'm a 6th grader. I go to Humphrey Middle School, and I'm the party planner.
Okay, Lizzie, we're going to start this off with you. Tell us exactly what made you join the Kiwanis Club, and what do you get out of it? What kind of projects that you do to stay in it, and how long would you stay into the Kiwanis? Can you stay from freshman until senior? Can you do that? Can they even do it in college?
So we do. So the Builders Clubs, I'm going to just jump in for a minute. The Builders Clubs are in our middle schools, so they can join as 6th graders, and they can be in it for all 3 years, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then we have the Key Club, which is at the high school level, and they can do that same thing freshman year through senior year. And then we have a Circle K Club, which are in some of the colleges. So it goes all the way through your academic years.
Oh, wow. Now, can these students get scholarships by being in it as long and moving on into higher education?
So yes, they can. In fact, last night we awarded 3 scholarships last night to students at BHS for seniors, obviously, and then 2 students will be awarding in the Romeoville High School next week. So that is indeed, and those scholarships are primarily awarded for not primarily for academics, although that is important, but it is, since this is a service club and a leadership club, it is for their ability to be leaders in the community, leaders in the club. And they do that by being part of Kiwanis and participating in local community activities and community service.
So this would be considered the Builders Club.
So the Builders Club is the elementary school. They do
Middle
not,
school.
Middle school.
Middle school.
They do not get scholarships. It's only the seniors in the high school who can apply for scholarships.
Oh, okay.
And only and we award it strictly to a Key Club member. So if they're a member of the Key Club and they fill out an application through the high school, and then it's judged within our board, and they choose who will be recipients of the awards that year.
So how do they choose?
So it's based on an application. The students have to do an application. They have to show their letters of recommendation from teachers. They have to show their academics. They have to place inside of their packet, again, their community service, their community involvement. And because we're a community service organization and we're trying to build leaders, it's about character, it's about responsibility, it's about trust. So they tell us about their work history, what they've done in the community. And it's not just in the community, but if they've done it at church or other nonprofit organizations where they give back to others, basically.
Right. But the main is Kiwanis Club. Kiwanis or just...
Well, that's the only people who can receive the award from Kiwanis are members of the Key Club.
Okay.
We give it specifically. We also have what's called a Debbie Belowski scholarship.
Sure.
Now, that scholarship, and that's in memory of Debbie Belowski, who was a very active member in our community. She was Character Counts Coalition. She was, and she started that Character Counts, and in 2009 she passed away.
Right.
So this award was named in her honor. Now, that award goes to any student in the high school. So to apply for it. So
Right.
it's the Key Club award, one at each school, is eligible only to a Key Club student. The W. Belowski one at each school is awarded to students, and that one is based primarily on their character and their community service, and in honor of Debbie Belowski.
Because I knew her son won.
Last night, Debbie Belowski's son is graduating, and we had an award for him called the Debbie Belowski Legacy Award. So that was just an additional one. We wanted to make sure that, just his mom and obviously his upbringing, and we've kind of tracked him through the years as a young adult growing, because his mom passed away in 2009. So yes, it's exciting that he was able to be recipient of that award.
Wow, 'cause I know her older son works at Hermiston and security, field.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So he's in the military reserve, so very upstanding young man. I've been knowing the Blowskis ever since they were real young.
Yeah.
So
we will do that award. Kiwanis joined with Character Counts Coalition a couple years ago, and we've made a commitment to continue that award in honor of Debbie every year.
Okay.
So we'll do one at each school.
Okay, Lizzie, it's up you back on you again. How did you choose the Kiwanis Club? What made you go there? What did you have to do to be accepted?
Well, I joined because my friend was doing it, and I actually thought it was cool. So, when I joined, all I had to do was fill out a paper. But then once I did it, in 7th grade, I wanted to do it again.
So what do you do? I mean, what kind of projects do you do to keep you into it?
Well, we plan Feed My Starving Children field trips, and we go there, and we also do, I can't remember what else we do, but
That's okay. You're probably a little nervous now, but you get over, we get into it. That's not a problem. And you're going to have to go. You have a beautiful name, and I don't want to say it, so I'm talking to the ladies next to you. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. How do you, I'll ask the same question. What made you join the Kiwanis Club? Or what are you getting out of the Kiwanis Club, and why would you want to stay in it?
I went into it because I like to help people in my community, and we went to Heritage Woods and we helped out at their parties, and we helped out on Valentine's Day, and we went into the rooms and passed out cards, and I really like it. And it's my first year, so
It's your first year?
yeah, I'm a sixth grader.
So you plan on staying in it,
Yeah, even through high school.
even through high school? So what do you want to do when you graduate from high school?
I want to go to college and be a lawyer.
A lawyer? I can see that. Wow, that's pretty neat. What brought you into the Kiwanis Club? You seem like you're pretty seasoned in it. And what grade are you in now?
I'm in 8th grade.
You're in 8th grade? So you plan on staying there. What did you do to get in? Or why would you want to be there?
Okay, so I got introduced to Builders Club by one of my friends who was in it and they were in 8th grade at the time, so they had 3 years there. And I thought it was really interesting because me, myself, I have been volunteering for a while. I volunteer at my church. So I found it really interesting, and it keeps me active in my community, so I decided to do it. And I'm planning on to keep doing it because I still want to stay involved in my community throughout high school.
So why was this so attractive to you? Because there are a number of other clubs out there that you probably could have joined. What was so attractive about this club that made you want to, besides your friend being in it?
Okay, so Builders Club, I thought just because like volunteering itself kind of attracted me to it, but the projects that we do, also like Ready Set Ride, you got to go and like groom horses and saddle them, and I thought that was really cool. And then the peanut days was really nice, and I just think it's really fun.
Well, most people, I guess, if they're going to stay in something like this, they have to like it. If they don't like it, then same question. Why would you want to be in it? You know, the Builders Club, Kiwanis Club. You know, why would you want to be in it?
Well, my fantastic mother in the front, Mrs. Butenhoff, introduced me to it at a very young age. So I'm not saying she forced me into it or anything, because I love doing it, but just putting a smile on other people's faces and knowing that I'm better in their lives and their environment around them, definitely it not only makes me a better leader, but again it helps my community and the environment around myself. It's, of course, none of it's about myself, but the motto of Builders Club is building leaders through community service, and I think almost every single member in my club has become a better leader through their community service.
Wow. You got to be proud of him.
I am very.
Yes, well, the way he spoke. You going to be an attorney too, or what are you going to be?
Probably a politician.
Oh, my goodness.
Good luck with that.
I'll try.
Yeah. Well, that's part of your Mother's Day. I mean, he really highlighted you. That's real good. Same question. Why are you in the Builders Club? Why are you there?
Well, the reason I wanted to join Builders Club is because my sister was doing it and she seemed to like it. And I remember us two in the band room and she was telling me to go there and I listened to her. I'm not saying she forced me to do it, but and it was a lot of, like the first meeting, it was a lot of fun and I said I wanted to run for secretary, but then I kind of forgot about it. And then it came up again and nobody ran for it and I said I'll do it. And I'm really glad I took that opportunity. And
Wow.
It's a lot of fun and you get to do community service and you don't do it because you're being forced, you're doing it because you want to. And it makes a difference in the community.
You listen to your big sister, right?
Yes.
Very good. I can see how that worked at home. Wow. So what do you want to be when you get out of high school, go to college? What's your career goal?
I don't know yet.
That's okay. You're still young.
Yeah. I'm really into baseball right now. I want to get that interest out. I'm really into baseball right now.
So you might think you want to make a career out of it, be a professional baseball player?
Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah, sure it would. Mom wouldn't have to worry anymore, and Dad, you'd be really good.
Yeah.
Okay, same question. See, I have to get these questions because I need to have a platform on what I'm going to do next. So why would you want to be in it?
I remember in 6th grade, I experimented going to a lot of different clubs, and Builders Club was the only one where I actually felt like I was supposed to be there, because in all the clubs they had 7th and 8th graders that just didn't want the little 6th graders there. So in Builders Club, they actually welcomed the 6th graders, and I just fell in love with it and have been there ever since.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
8th.
And what do you want to do when you grow up?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No idea.
Well, like I say, you're still young yet. Okay, we're going to talk to the old guy, the senior up there. Why did you join and why are you still in it?
Well, I joined my 6th grade year because when I was young, my mom and dad taught me we weren't always that privileged, but when we were privileged to have money, we always gave back to our community. And then when I got to 6th grade, I wanted to look for a group where I can do that on my own, and it was Builders Club, and I did that 6th grade through 8th grade year. And then when I got to the high school, my first period teacher was actually the sponsor of Key Club, and I had no clue. And then I told them that I did Builders Club all 3 years at the middle school level, and they pushed me into, I wouldn't say forced, but they encouraged me to join Key Club because of my past in it, and I've been in it 4 years at high school, and I love it. And this is my first year as president. Last year I was vice president, and I just wanted to help out other people.
Wow. So what do you want to do? You got what? This is your last year. What are you going? You want to go to college?
Yes, I want to go to college.
And what do you want to do? What do you wanna
I was
major in?
looking into majoring in business management, but I was also looking into sports, physical therapy because of the fact that I am a soccer player.
A soccer player?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you plan maybe going pro someday?
Well, it's kind of out of the idea now, but I would like to go on and play at college.
Oh, okay. Very good. You know, I like talking to young people because you learn so much from them. And that's the reason why I created this show 18 years ago, because the show was bridging the generation gap. And it was where students can talk and parents listen. And young people have so much to say. So often we just don't sit and listen to them. But if we took the time to listen to what, just like now, taking the time to listen to what you have to say, we can learn a lot. Because so often we kind of push them aside and say, okay, I don't think you have a lot to say, but you guys are very smart to be in this because it's a very nice program. You get a lot out of it, you learn a lot out of it, and you can take it on into your career. So this is very neat. Now, the questions I'm going to ask now, anyone can answer. So it doesn't really matter. Are there any famous people that you know that was in the Kiwanis Club or Builders Club? Are there any famous people you know were in it? Okay.
My mother seems like a very popular person with my friends and
Okay.
others in the community. I'm sure Miss Pat can attest to that. She seems pretty popular in my opinion. She's
Wow.
pretty famous to me.
Man,
so.
that's 2 Mother's Day gifts. That's
I'm
wow.
telling you. He could be a politician.
Yes,
He's
he
on his way.
could. Really? Wow. That's not bad. I mean, I'm just listening to this young man and mom, you can see her just blushing all over the place, And that's not bad, because when parents can feel, proud of their children, it makes a big difference, because they know that the world is in good shape. It's in good hands with people like yourselves, because the history that you're setting now is going to make this a better world. We always say that the youth are our future, but it goes a little further than that. The future are our present. If we don't have a present, we don't have a future. And you're at that stage now to make a better future. What most do you like about the club that you can take and do a presentation? If someone had you do a presentation on the club, what most do you like about it that would make someone sit and listen to you and say, wow, this is very interesting. I think I want to join. Anyone answer?
I'll go ahead
Okay.
and answer. As a president at Romeoville, I've noticed that I've had a lot of freshmen come into the club that most of our club is actually freshmen that we encourage to join. And you see a big change from when the beginning of the year to the end of the year is because they're getting involved with helping out in the community, but at the same time, they're meeting new friends, they're learning new things, and they're getting really involved. And you see them change, because at the beginning of the year, I had a lot of freshmen, and I would see them, and they were kind of scared of me, maybe because I'm a senior. But at the end of the year now, they're like, they see me in the hallway, and they shake my hand, and say hello, and they're not scared anymore. And at one point, like, you're helping them get close to the high school and be involved, but it just really makes a big difference to them. Just pushing them into a little closer into everybody so they have new friends when they get to the high school.
And high school need young people like yourself that gives their charge and help people to make good decisions because they look at you as a role model. You know, they come up and shake your hand because they look at you as somebody that can be someone they'd like to emulate at some point, and that's very good. Now, when we talk about the club itself, and there's a new person that's about or one just thinking about it, what would you say is there any bad points of being part of this club? Is something that you say, oh, I don't think I like this, but you're still in it? Anyone? Very good. I'm glad you did that, because I'd hate for you to say, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, because someone watching this say, well, there's something you don't like about it. Now they can say there isn't anything that you don't like about the club itself. So moving forward, what's the next step? What's your next step now?
As in, like, what
As in
I'm
life.
doing in high school. Oh, life.
Yeah,
Okay.
in life.
Well, I'm planning on going to high school and graduating, and then going to college. But I didn't know that they had like Builders Club or service opportunities in college. So I think I'm gonna do that too. Now that I think of it, so I think I'm gonna do that. I want to go into orthodontics. Yeah.
Well, you guys got some real tough decisions to make. We go into some of these real high-profile employments, as they call it. Wow, that's very good. Let's get to the bosses, as they say, the president, vice president, owners, or whatever you want to call it. Pat, you've been doing this for a long time. What is one of the most refreshing and rewarding experience you've had with young people in the Kiwanis Club?
So one of the reasons that I am obviously giving back to the community and a person of service has been a mission and passion of my life always. One of the things that attracted me to Kiwanis was the mission to touch the children. And every organization does that in different ways. However, Kiwanis, much as these young people are, as you're hearing them say, what we do, it's literally called a student leadership program. We go in, these young people come in at 6th grade, they run for office, as you heard, president, vice president, party planner, secretary, and they then run a board meeting their bi-monthly meetings, and they plan their agendas, they execute the projects and choose the projects they want to do in the community. They orchestrate and make decisions as a collective group, all the members, what they're going to do and how they're going to get back. Now, we have adult supervision in every school. We have earned the respect of the school, and we have faculty advisors who are the mentors to each club. And then Kiwanis members, like myself and Holly, support those teachers. So our goal, my mission, and the thing that made me feel so good about being part of this is, obviously, as you said, I've been around a long time, and you go to service organizations that are 100 years old, and they've been around in the United States or internationally, but they're aging. There's a lot of white hairs out there. And the reality is, if we don't instill leadership in the youth, and not make community service. I remember when we first started going and I would go to speak at a club and you say, well, what's community service? Oh, that's what you do when you get in trouble. No, community service is what you do because you have a heart and a passion for giving back to others. And so that's what I love, is helping these young people to realize you get far more out of giving to others than you can even begin to imagine. And it makes your community a better place. And of course, our passion and our hope is that these young people will not only go on through in the middle school age, go up to high school go on to college as Kiwanians, and then eventually take their role in their communities, wherever they end up after they graduate from college, and become Kiwanis Club members themselves as adults and continue on the mission. So then we feed these young people we've given this passion to, and we will have young adults coming into our service organization and carry this passion and mission forward to change the world, continue changing the world one child at a time.
Right, one day at a time. Holly, what is your passion, and what do you see that's so motivating about this program?
I love to see these kids grow from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And kind of like to piggyback on Pedro, where he said, when these kids, just as the sixth graders look up to the eighth graders, and they know somebody in the school, and they have someone, if they have a question, they have someone to be able to go to. Same thing in the high school level. The freshman students have older students that they can go to, and they feel familiar in the school. I mean, I think all kids need to be involved, and this is a great way. Anybody can join. It's not where there's a lot of clubs where you have to be chosen. This isn't that type of a club. This is a club, we accept everybody. They do run, as Pat said, we have elections, and so students run for elected positions, but everybody can be a member. So it's a group that everybody can be a part of.
Wow. Okay, here comes the hard question. It really isn't. Each one of you, I want you to answer this question. What would you do, because you seem like you really got it together, you're making great strides, great decisions on your future, where you want to go and what you want to do. What would you do with this country being the way it is, and you already got sight of a platform? What would you do to make this a better country, and how would you do it?
I think
Well, everyone answer this no, so.
Right. I think that when you do service projects, you like spread the news about it, and you get other people involved, like time passes and there are more and more members. And I think after a while, there are so many people that I think it'll just be better. I think.
So what would your platform be is all of a sudden they said, you're going to become president tomorrow. What would be your first duty to make this a better country?
For me, I'd probably get as many people to join it as I can, just because without members, there's nothing to do. Like, no one's there to help. So I think that really we are the people that make the difference. So I think without us all, none of this would be possible.
That's a great statement. We are the people that's going to make it happen. You're absolutely right. What would you do?
Can I just ask if you're referring to being the President of the United States or President of Builders Club?
Well, she did the President of Builders Club. I'm talking about the President of the
Okay.
United States.
Well, in both, it has to do with, education and investing in our children. Because when our children are such dedicated members of society and they put their life, they sacrifice their life to help others, it's of course going to lead to better leadership and better America. I just feel that investing in education and investing in bettering the environment around children, whether it's a first grader or a senior in high school, it's definitely going to help shape our country a lot better than other things that we've been spending on the last few years. But yeah, I think definitely investing in our children is the number one priority, or it should be the number one priority.
I vote for you. Yes.
Well, what I think is what would make a difference is like what he said, investing in our children. Like the children that we have now, the people that decide voluntarily to do community service and help out and not just sit at home playing video games all day, like doing something in the community. That makes a difference in our town, in our community, in the whole country. And if these children don't take these opportunities, I don't think America would be like what it would be like today, what it's like today.
Wow. I vote for you too. Yes, wow.
I think I agree that education is important, but I would stand that like you need to have people more involved, like just in general, because I don't know, just when people get involved, like at least with the members in my club, they all just like there's a sense of calmness, like they come in agitated, but after they leave, everyone is happy. No one's upset about anything anymore. Everyone's happy. Everyone's feel like they've done something successful because they've helped in their community. So I feel like that's definitely something that could be better, is if like instead of having everyone upset about every problem, get people involved in a way, and then we can address a problem that isn't so like aggressive.
Wow. Roger, look out. I'm talking about the mayor, look out.
Well,
Okay.
something that I think is really important, like you said, you started this show for the youth so that everybody knows that the youth does have a voice. And being a millennial at the age of 18 right now, I think we see the world at a different view than what our parents see. And of course, youth is very important because we are the future of the country, and we have a voice. Well, I believe we should have a voice in what's going on too. But yeah, sorry. Volunteering is something that's very important worldwide and all over the country. And when you put these people in these situations where they just want to help out, better after high school, when they start getting older, they'll see that this is something, if anything, any small thing can make a difference. Like I said at one of our last meetings, one little piece of paper that's dropped on the floor, you might not have dropped it, but by picking it up, you're making a small difference. And if everybody has that type of mentality where that one small thing can make a huge difference and everybody starts doing it, this can make the country a lot better place than it is right now.
Wow, you guys are prepped for this show. Wow, you have some great answers. Lizzie?
Well, I would actually start off like helping the community and then see where it goes from there, like try and get more people to join and spread the word. So.
How important is it to you to have a voice? You know, everyone needs to be heard at some point or another. How important it is to you to be able to be heard and voice your opinion?
To me, it's very important. That way, more people know and can get involved.
Okay, very good.
I think education is important, but when you like help out in your community and you like help somebody when they're like hungry or they don't have enough money, when you go to like in Builders Club and you go to Feed My Starving Children in the Ronald McDonald House, when you go to Feed My Starving Children and you're packing food for the kids who don't have food or they're in need of something and you give it to them, you actually see a very big difference in their life because they're always smiling and happy.
Is that really important to you? I mean, to see a kid smile because all of a sudden you brought them a package of food. Is that really important?
I think it's important to me because I think every kid in the world should get food and should be able to have like that like experience or something, to have food and clothing and everything.
Wow. Next question. What do you think as a country, because you're getting a very strong platform right now on how you look at this country, what do you think we need to do to take this country in a different direction to make it a better country? And I'm sure everyone, I've heard young people they have their own opinions about it. They have opinions about elections and everything else. What do you think we need to do as a country to make it and move it forward to be a better country?
I think that we really need to work together rather than all have like all our other disputes about like against each other. I think that if we all work together and have a good mindset on what we're doing, then I think it's going to help us and help us to become a better country, community, whatever it is that our goal is. So I think that like us together, we make what our country is. So we need to change to change our country.
What do you think needs to be changed?
I think that, I mean, it is a great country. I honestly believe that. I think that we might need to change our attitudes to make sure that we're more positive than negative, because everything is contagious. So if we feed off of negative energy, it just makes us negative. So that's why, like when you said, why is it so important to see a little kid smiling? I think that smile can go a long way for that child because you don't know what they've been through.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Brilliance over here.
Well, in a political sense, I'd say bipartisanship, but overall in a humanitarian way, a cooperation. Right now, this country's a little bit torn apart on their views. They're a little bit too far left or far right or far authoritarian or libertarian. I think we need to come together in a more moderate sense and actually hammer out some of our differences and get something done that both sides and all sides of the aisle can get behind and actually make a change, other than holding these grudges just because some people think that we should spend money on roads and some people don't. Some people don't want to pay taxes, some people do. So I think there's just a thing that in our country right now that's holding us back, is the fact that we can't move past our differences, or at least some people can't. And I think that's really destroying us. But the moment we start working together, I definitely believe that we can make a difference. And like I said, that could go for Congress, that could go for humanity as a whole, or the community as a whole. So.
Well, this audience should be full to hear young people like yourself talk, because what you're saying makes a big difference, because people listen to what you're saying. And if they get the chance to sit in a platform like this and watch you and hear you give your point of views, it would change their mind on a number of different things. I always say that there's no such thing as a bad child. It's just a child that make bad decisions. If we can get to the decisions, we've got a very, very good person. You guys are awesome, really awesome, wow. What would you do to change the country, and how would you do it?
Well, what I would do to change the country is I would start by getting better leadership as a whole, because people aren't being leaders. They're just waiting for somebody else to be a leader when they should be taking charge themselves. And if they take charge themselves, this place would be such a better place as a whole, even in a community or as a country. Because if people took charge and made better leaders, this place would be amazing. And if we got along and had teamwork with each other and just overall do a good job, it would make this place a whole much better place.
Wow. This is what you guys teach in the Kiwanis Club? Gee whiz.
Character, responsibility, right.
Leadership.
Wow.
Leadership, yeah. Those are in
Wow.
there, and they learn and they grow. And my guess is these young people have that instilled somewhere in their lives and in their family and their churches.
Right.
And then we just enrich that, and they blossom. And 6th, 7th, 8th graders, high schoolers, already having this passion for this country and beliefs, and taking that and giving them that voice to believe that they have a voice, to go out there and act responsibly, to give back. We talked about some of the projects that they choose. They choose it. They do fundraisers in the school. They may have a student within their school whose family may have gone through some crisis. They may choose to create a fundraiser, and then collectively, we talked about bipartisanships and sides and this and that. There might be lots of service projects that some of them all have different ideas of where they want that money to go from that fundraiser, but they have to work together to come to, let's call it, a bipartisan decision, a compromise to say, where do we want to go? And they honor that. It's not tearing against one another. And then once they make that decision, they enrich a family's life or an organization's life within the community. Some of them have raised money to give dollars and cents to the food pantries, to Power Connection here in town. Some of them have given money, raised money for family members in their school who've had life crises. Some of them give themselves and their time by going to Feed My Starving Children. They talked about Ready, Set, Ride. That organization is an organization that supports, they do horseback riding lessons for disabled people, mentally and physically disabled. And these young people, it's a nonprofit organization, very small, and they give this service to family members who have got disabled children. Our students, by going out there and literally shoveling the hay and grooming these horses, are providing this opportunity, because it's a non-for-profit. They don't have the money to staff somebody to clean the stalls. These young people, by their caring enough for another person who has a need, makes that available and the ability to happen. And like I say, it is so heartwarming. And then again, going back to the community service or the service projects they choose, they get to choose the one that they're presented by, the kids choose them, it's presented, but then each individual in the club decides whether they want to sign up for that. So, if you're not into shoveling manure, you might, you can pass that one up and go do the Feed My Starving Children. They choose. It's ultimately their choice where they want to give their time and service.
Wow, wow. I'm sitting here listening to this young man and listening to these young ladies up here talk, and it just makes me feel, wow, they sound like they're in college already, just from what they're saying and their point of views and how they direct them. I mean, this is just amazing. So I'm gonna start with you. What would you do to change this country, and how would you do it?
All right. I don't know how to put this in other words, so I'm just going to say it rather bluntly. Get rid of political parties, because people, and this is also rather blunt, people who aren't taking the time to learn about everything. Like that sounds like people aren't interested in learning, but that's not what I'm saying. People aren't learning what other people have to say. They just said, okay, I usually go to the left, I'm going to go left. I don't care what left is, I just want to go left because I always go left. If there are no sides, then they have a reason to look at different things, So.
Wow. Yeah, go ahead. I can listen to you all night. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just think, like, people, they're not thinking about what they're doing, they're just throwing words out. One of my teachers calls it verbal diarrhea because you're not thinking about what you're saying, you just want to have some say. All right, but if you don't really have anything to say, then that gives you a reason to listen and then find something to say. So, more educated and then a better.
Okay, I'm just amazed. Yes.
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is, if you followed along with this past election for president, I followed along pretty closely, is the first thing we should always have is a respectable person in office that's in charge of our country. And when I was looking at it this year, I never saw someone that stood out to me as, this man looks like somebody that I want to have in office, or this woman looks like somebody I want to have in office. And then another thing that is a huge problem, if you saw the rallies, what was going on, there was a lot of fighting, there was a lot of disagreement, just because you don't see the same views. And I think something we have to look at is, you have to respect the other person's view. You don't always have to you don't have to have the same views, but as long as you respect that person's views, because that's what they believe in, and you have your beliefs and they have their beliefs, it should be mutual respect for both sides. And you might not always get your way, but if that's what the country is going towards, that you should jump along and help out with that view.
So the first thing you would change if you became president of the United States, what would be the first thing you change?
The first thing I would change, me being Mexican American, would probably have to do something with immigration rights, and the fact that my parents right now are going through the process of becoming citizens of this country. I think it'd be a lot better for not just Mexican immigrants, but all immigrants in total, if the process was made easier for them to become citizenship. Because if you're here in this country, you're not just here for yourself. Obviously, you're helping out. You want to help out in the country, and you care about the country you're in. So, pushing towards helping them become citizens, and then they can start paying their taxes too, and they can become their share of the country too.
Well, that's a great platform. What would you do to change this country, and how would you go about doing it?
Well, I would change the country by trying to get more people involved, and I would also see how I would want people to change how they act and see where it goes from there.
How would you change people? How would you get them to be responsive to whatever issue you want to have? How would you do that?
I would ask them if they're making good choices, and if not, I would ask them why they aren't, and I would tell them to try and make better decisions.
Okay.
For the first thing I would probably do is get people to do more volunteer work and everything, and have more you know, like the GoFundMe accounts like that help people when they're like they don't have enough stuff and everything. I would probably have more of those accounts and everything to help people get more involved and like donate to their community.
You know, you probably ask, why is he asking me all these political questions? They're really not you guys the one giving us the political answers. Because this goes pretty hand in hand on what you're doing now. Because apparently you're being taught this from home, school, and the club itself. So it gives you a point of view that is very adult-like. Because I don't think too many adults can make the statements that you're making. Because we can tell you're serious. Adults may do it because they think that's what people want them to say. You're doing it because it's coming from your heart. And that makes a big difference, don't you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it makes a difference if someone comes from their heart and say, I really like what you're doing, rather than someone come and say, I like what you're doing because you can do this for me. It's a big difference in doing something like that. Holly, how do you prepare them for things like this?
I think it probably starts in all their homes. So I think they all probably come from parents that have volunteered and have instilled some of that in them. But I think as a club, there is a curriculum, there's a leadership curriculum that they go through. And so I think that helps with that. But I think initially, I think they all have seen that heart to serve somewhere, you know, when they were younger. So I think you see it there.
And I can believe that because the young people themselves, they're like vacuum cleaners. They'll pick up everything, and every now and then, you know, you got to dump some out and do whatever you have to do. Apparently, you guys are picking stuff up. Nobody wants to get rid of it because you have a good sense of what your country is all about and how you want to make this country better. With the Kiwanis, is there anything that you would change with the Builders Club? Is there anything you would change with it? I mean, there's always someone, just like with politics, there's always something that we may feel we want to change to make it a better political platform. Is there anything that you would change? I mean, not bad, I'm talking about good.
I don't think I would really change anything. I mean, maybe reaching out to maybe different organizations that haven't been heard yet that might need help maybe would be better. I think asking the members if their families are going through something and seeing if we can do anything to help them. I know there are missionaries and they go out, and I remember hearing one that actually I really liked it, and it was they went out and they found someone who really need help. She was a single mother, had 4 children. She didn't have a lot of money, and they asked, can we get you anything? Like anything. And she really didn't want anything. She said, we're doing good. We have everything that we really need. But after they convinced her for something that they could do for her, she put it towards her children. She said, can you get us a playhouse for them? And they looked at all these extraordinary playhouses that they had, rocket thingies. They were really cool. I liked them too. But she picked the simplest thing they had. And I really thought that was, I don't know how you explain it, but I really thought that was important. And to me, that kind of touched my heart, that even if she had the opportunity to get whatever she wanted, she chose the most simplest thing, and it wasn't for herself either. It was for her children.
Wow, it's like you're saying, not being selfish. I knew this program would go kind of fast, but now I'm going to let you. What message would you like to leave the viewing audience with? Whatever message, take a minute or so. I think we have 10 minutes left. And just tell the people that are watching what you want them to hear as far as Builders Club. What do you want them to know about it?
I have something to say.
Okay.
I would
I
say
like that.
I would say to like take opportunities and get involved. Like all of the kids watching at home, or just people in general watching at home, like they have to take opportunities. Like they can't just sit at home all day and just do whatever they want. They should be taking opportunities to help not just yourself, not other people, well actually, sorry, a lot of other people. And you're not trying to help yourself, you're helping other people, you're helping your community, you're helping your country. I mean, it's a big impact if you try to take those opportunities and get involved, in my opinion.
Okay, wow. Okay, so what do you want to leave the viewing audience with? I'll start with you. Yes, yes.
I want to say that don't let other people and what their decisions affect you. If you want to do it and you really have a passion in your heart, don't let people bring you down and say, oh, that club is only for like those weird kids or something, because it's really not. And I think that once you get involved, for me, it was just like life-changing. Like at first I really didn't like volunteering, and then my family, my parents and my sister, I saw all the things that they were doing, and it really changed my mindset. So I think it's good to go out there and volunteer, because I think it could really change someone's life and the people around yours too. So I would say get involved, take the risk. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I'm waiting to hear what you guys say.
Well, I think mine's very simple. I just like to encourage everyone to, like I said, this is kind of a, everyone thinks this, to get involved. I know summer's coming up. I know everyone wants to sit at home, play their video games, probably go outside, but I still encourage you, and any extra time you have, to go out and volunteer in your community. Like I said, it not only betters yourself, it betters your community and the environment around you and other people. I'd also like to encourage everyone, I hate to have any self-promotion here, but if you're in high school next year, to join Key Club. If you're in middle school next year, join Builders Club. If you're an adult, join Kiwanis, because what we're doing right now is definitely going to shape our community, and the more people we have, the more we can change. That's all. I just like to thank everyone for tuning in and listening to me speak. You know, I'm not the most intelligent guy, I think, but I definitely like to thank everyone for listening to me.
I kind of differ you at that. I really do. What would you like? Well, you kind of, oh, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, well, a lot of things I noticed about myself and like the community, I really, as a middle schooler, I was really afraid that I wasn't going to make friends until about 6th grade, about maybe a couple weeks or so into the year. I started to like look at opportunities and just find things that would occupy my time. And like, you got to get involved. You can't just sit around, and like, you got to get involved with your school or your community, and it just makes a big difference. Not just with you can make new friends, you can make an impact, you can do a lot of different things, but none of that is gonna happen unless you take that chance and really show that you want to be involved.
Okay.
I think that people need to understand more. Yes, they need to get involved, but people need to understand that they have a voice and their voice is important. Like, people, I've heard my friends say, I have a voice, but then the most they do with that is complain to me about their problems. If they have a voice, they should be using it to go and fix those problems, not just complaining to someone about the fact that they can't do anything about it. So I think you need to understand that your voice can be heard, you just have to make it heard.
I think yours is heard tonight, believe me.
As a 7-year member, this is my last year at Key Club at the high school, but I love to see this where all these middle schoolers look really involved and they look like they want to keep doing this and they're going to join Key Club at the high school level. But I just want to say, I just want to encourage parents, kids that are watching, that this is something that's really great. I've always loved doing this. I've done this 7 years now, and I've never regretted any moment of it. To push towards helping out in your community, it doesn't have to be with Key Club. It doesn't have to be with Brothers Club. As long as you're helping out in some type of way, it's always great to help out.
Very good. Lindsay?
I would just encourage people to join, and like, if you want to join, you can join. Join because you want to join, not because people are making you join. Join and enjoy it because you want to enjoy it. And
Makes sense.
I would encourage people like in the summer and like by Christmas, like we have Christmas break, spring break, and you see people like by Jewel and stuff, and they have like the Red Box thing, and they're asking to like donate. I would encourage people to donate to them to help someone's life.
Wow. I'm just amazed at you guys. I really am. I know there are a lot of smart young people out there, but when you see it right before you and see how it unfolds, I mean, the language that you use and the thoughts, patterns that you have, it just makes adults feel that this country has got a lot of good things going on. Look at them. They're right here in front of us, Holly, what would you like to leave the viewing audience with?
I just think this is only 7 of our students. There's over 300 more
Wow.
that are just like that. And I just think nowadays, you hear all the bad things going on, and we don't hear all the good things that these kids are doing. So again, yeah, I think the kids need to get involved. Parents, help your kids, encourage your kids to be involved. Kind of set the pace for them so they know what to do. But I think these guys are all great.
Oh, really, they are. Pat.
They are. Again, these young people are our hope and our prayers, and continue to instill in them leadership and that they will go through our programs and then eventually become a Kiwanian. And for all the adults out there, if you're interested in becoming an adult Kiwanian, our club meets only once a month at 12 o'clock at the Bolingbrook Golf Club on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. And so you too can help support young people like this. It's open to everybody, not just business people. It can be a mom, a dad, who's interested in giving back to the community. And again, we do that one day at a time through giving and changing the children. And so if you have a passion for your children and the youth in our community, think about coming and joining Kiwanis Club of Bolingbrook Romeoville.
Well, what you see in front of you is a good reason to join as an adult, just to see these young people here, because you learn from them. I mean, every time I do these programs like this, I learn from these young people, just hearing what they have to say, hearing the passion that they have for what they're involved in, and it makes a big difference. It really does. I want to thank the parents that came here tonight to just sit and watch their own kids. I mean, you got to be so proud of these young people, the driving force for our future to go forward. I also want to thank our camera people back there for what they do and make sure that they get the things that they really deserve. But thank you for being here tonight. I learned a lot from you, and I could sit and listen to you all night. I really could. My name is Leroy Brown, and this is Bridging the Gap. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.